Hello.
Howdy.
Ready?
Oh, yeah. Raindrops keep falling on my head. And just like a guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops keep falling on my head. They keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The blues they second greet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me.
Boom, boom.
What's falling on your head, Josh?
You ready?
Raindrops keep falling on my head. But that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining. Because I'm free, nothing's worrying me. I've always feeling this on a sunny day, don't you?
It's a beautiful sunny day out.
It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Come on.
Oh.
Raindrops are falling on my head. But that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining. Because I'm free, nothing's worrying me.
And now, live from Boca Raton
It's
is...
the Brooklyn Cafe Show on a bright summer sunny day.
Peace out, y'all.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe morning show, midday show, and afternoon show. We've been doing shows all morning. I'm just punctual.
All day long.
Can you go get me my Met sneakers? Thank you. Gotta wear them because
I don't know.
We gotta change.
Where are they?
You were going in the right direction.
They're behind the soundboard next to the garbage can. Yeah.
I gotta wear my Met sneakers because we
Why
ain't
are they
been
next
playing.
to the garbage can is my question
Because
for the past
if I
2
put them
years.
anywhere else, you're gonna put them
In the garbage can?
No,
No.
in your zone, and I ain't never gonna find them.
You're going to put them on? You haven't put them on in 2 years. I'm not sure this is a good idea.
I'm putting them on
Can't get
because
any worse.
we have to win a doubleheader today. They start at 1:40, so.
Really?
These are my Met Lucky sneakers. And the reason I'm wearing them today, you check out what Teddy's wearing? You see her sneakers? Tremendous.
I've barely even seen Teddy today.
She has tremendous sneakers. Okay, really?
What was that?
There's food in my sneakers.
What's falling out of your sneakers? Is that a chip?
It's a chip. It's a Josh chip.
No.
Hater. You're a hater.
Why is there a chip in your shoe?
I don't know. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to be putting them on. You remember the show, Good to Be My Neighbor?
Mr. Rogers?
Yes, he used to take off put on his
Is
slippers.
this Freddie's Neighborhood?
This is Freddie's Neighborhood.
We should do a
I'm
whole
go-
segment about Freddie's Neighborhood.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to change my shoes on the air.
You ever walked in those?
Of course, no, Dawn. I put them on my hands
Have you
and I
ever
walk on
worn
my
them?
hands. Yes, I've worn them. Look, they're not new.
They're pretty new.
We won 101 games last year because of these shoes.
But you haven't worn them.
No, we've been losing.
So now you
it's
need to roll.
I may have to go get me some Nick sneakers because I'm going to tell you, not for nothing, but the Miami Heat scare me.
It's kind of. You're coming to your senses now, huh?
No, it's not senses. It's that they scare me because they actually are smart. They're smart basketball players, you know. Anything you do in business, if you do it smart, you're dangerous. You're dangerous. You have
You
to take it
sent out a
seriously.
whole bunch of things last
Whole
night
bunch.
with that.
A whole bunch.
About when the haters are hating and they're looking at you and they're judging you, you just keep your nose to the grindstone and keep working and keep doing what you do because it doesn't matter what they say. They don't run your business.
It's funny. I sent you something that had Michael Jordan and the late, great kid from the Lakers that died, Kobe Bryant. And Michael starts the video by saying, look at me. You, look at me. Because the bottom line is, you look at me because you're afraid of me. I look at me because I'm going to be great and I'm going to beat you at this game. So Michael wanted you to look at him because he says when you look at him, you were playing in his house. And that's the way business is. You want to be in front of a camera. You want people to know what you do. You want to deliver your message. And you want them to look at you right to the eye. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm bringing it home, and you're going to listen to me one way or the other. And Michael used to beat you 9 out of 10 times. You know, when Michael went to play baseball, because his father, who was murdered, wanted him to play baseball, he wanted to live his legacy. He was horrible at it. So he came back to torture my Knicks again and win again. The man came when he played, changed the game. And I know that you got King and all these other guys, the kid from the Warriors. I know they're good. But there was something about Michael, the way he did things. Something about how Kobe did things. They went about their business doing it right. And this, my friends, is doing it right. Doing it my way, right?
Back
Which
to
is
that.
the only way for me. It's just the only way. No matter what anybody says, you don't like my sneakers, you don't like the Mets, it's okay too.
But I do love the song they opened the show with today. I love watching Baxton actually talk it through with Josh. So what do you think? It's a beautiful sunny day here in South Florida.
It's a good thing that they're not the best at what they do because
That
they're
was
still learning.
fantastic. Have you ever listened to the lyrics on that song?
Of course, I sang it when I was in junior high school.
I never got past the raindrops keep falling on my head. And then he's talking about he's not going to cry because he can't stop the rain.
So what did you think of it?
I don't think I
Because
ever
you changed
really...
the words to all the songs.
Because I don't think I ever really listened to lyrics. People just sing and you don't actually listen to the meaning, right? Sometimes like we talk and we don't even know how much power our words have. Lyrics are powerful if you listen to them.
It's funny because people sometimes they get into an argument or a fight and they think that by fighting that those words are important. You know, in the heat of a
I think
moment,
words are important always.
when you're fighting with somebody, the heat of the moment, you're just trying to get your point across. There's no significance to that. Because what ends up happening is that they don't listen to it. Nobody listens to you when you're sounding like a mad person. But when you do something that is spiritual and it makes sense or it hits home without yelling, just whispering, that stays with you for a lifetime. It's a big difference between the two.
Just whisper.
And that gentleman in Europe, Mr. Putin, should learn that lesson because what's going to bite you, what's going to come back to bite you, is going to come back to bite you hard for being the detriment that you are. But you know what? We're not here to judge.
Nope, but I did like the song.
You should have sang it. Why don't you get up there and sing with the boys?
I don't know the lyrics, but they did
Hey
a nice
guys,
job.
we're going to have Dawn sing with you guys the next song. Why not? You sing.
No, we're good.
Why?
We got a show to do. You know, we're running a little late
and of
today.
course, when we talk about Dawn, she changes the subject.
I got
It's
to
the
tell
way
you,
she does
I've
that.
gotten so good at that I got through an entire party on Sunday, and I never told
You
gave
haven't
anyone
gotten
the
good
answer.
at it. It's not good.
Yeah.
No, it's a little annoying.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
it
much.
is. It
And
is.
happy birthday to you,
Happy
too.
birthday to your ankles.
Your ankles are bad. Happy birthday.
So Arthur comes in and he says, hey, I like those chairs. And I say, what are you talking about? We've been in these chairs a lot. And he's talking about the show we had with the different opinion on the color of the chairs.
Oh, we had those last week. He liked those
No, we're
too.
talking about the color. Well, you weren't talking about the show we did about the chairs?
Just grab your mic, Arthur.
That went over my head completely.
No, he liked the high chairs, and he likes these chairs. Whatever chairs you
I have a red chair for you if you want to have Kenny Love's
Oh,
chair. You want the
sure.
love
Why not?
chair?
As long as it's comfortable.
I didn't say that.
Today's National Paranormal Day.
Is that why Arthur's here?
No, Arthur's here because
I
he's
am
got
paranormal.
Wisdom Cafe. He's paranormal.
Did you see what he has going tomorrow to Leeds?
It's very nice. Ooh, we've got those books to talk about. So we're a little late today because our good friend Max Lazega came in. He's going to fix some of our electronic signage, so the crew had to get those down. And Burton's been very patient. He walked in while we were finishing another show that started a little late for technical difficulty. So we got to do what we got to do. And
Are you going to make the announcement of our San Francisco-based show, base office?
The Reinvented Life show is opening a Reinvented Life Center in the San Francisco Bay Area. I think she's finalizing the lease agreement next week. So we will be opening our West Coast studio, Ant Media Production Studio, all the way in San Francisco, which is really exciting. So if you are in that area and you want to drive over and do your show, your podcast, or your podcast with video from their studios to send it out here, anywhere we need to send it for distribution or just podcasting, that's going to be available over the summer.
That's right. And everything goes. Children's shows, singing shows, and everything else. And I also want to announce that we are going down to Don Pablo Studios.
In Miami next week.
In North Miami. And we're going to incorporate them into the Ant Media family as well.
I got to ask you a question. Did you ever think you were going to reinvent yourself every time you
Every
got
day.
a new job?
Every day.
You knew that's what you were doing?
Not job. Job don't reinvent me.
That's why I'm
I
asking.
reinvent me every day. Every day I look to be better. This is why I sent you those tapes. Kobe Bryant says, you know how you become the greatest? Every day you get better than the day before. And in 15 years, you will be the greatest. I reinvent myself every day.
Every day. And I want to
Look
ask,
at my shoes.
I like that, Bert, because you've been very patient with us today. You've taken a concept of selling insurance and investments, and now you've opened a center to help people who are in this wellness space to actually have better results for better insurance. Is that reinventing, or is that moving along into your purpose?
I think it's moving along into my purpose. I think it's also trying to take care of the client in a much more whole way, in addition to their finances and their insurance, which insurance is really a requirement. So on top of that, to actually improve their life and their health so that they can live long, happy lives and be able to utilize and enjoy the money that they have instead of having to spend it on things that they'd rather not have to spend it on.
You do a lot of things. I was out for dinner the other night with some friends, and they said they're getting ready to get rid of their long-term care insurance because the rates are so expensive. They said they're doubling their rates, and he thinks they only have a 5-year term anyway. So I said they were going to go home and look at their policy. I said, but there's other ways now that it's not just a long-term care plan. Made me think of it when I saw what you do. Annuities, different types of insurance that can maybe that bucket of money can be applied toward your care. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. Now, long-term care policies have been going up a lot in price because they were underpriced to begin with. And so many people are more and more utilizing those policies. So it definitely makes sense to have a policy review for that person's circumstances instead of just dropping it and finding out later that they may not be able to get something new or they may have gotten a better deal than they thought that they already had. So there's new ways of being able to address the long-term care issues, as far as you can also purchase life insurance that will help with chronic illness or long-term care reasoning. That way, some people say, well, it's insurance. If I don't need it, I wasted my money. But when you have a life insurance policy, you know that it will eventually come back to your beneficiaries whether or not that you've needed it for that purpose. So that's one way that we can utilize it, that you know that you're actually you're getting the benefit of it whether or not you need it for that purpose.
And that's what they were talking about, that we spend so much money a month that we put into insurance, right? You've got renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance, flood insurance, and then you've got long-term care insurance, life insurance. If you don't use these term policies that you always talk about,
But there's
you lose
but
them.
there's a difference also when you are young and you have life insurance. See, life insurance you can't hold
What
on
do you
to
consider young?
in your 20s.
Okay, what about our age?
Well, hold on a second. Let's follow the bouncing ball. So when
Okay.
you're in your 20s and the insurance is cheaper, whole life was what I used to sell. But you can't see a policy. You can't. It isn't something you eat. It isn't something you feel. And when things go bad in the house, the first thing you get rid of is the life insurance policy. I mean, John Hancock did studies on this stuff, right? So what I used to do is I never said the word life insurance. Never. I saw educational policies. You have children. This was a forced saving for them to go to school because you can take the equity out of it. It has dividends. It has all sorts of stuff. Now, back in the day, they may call it universal. I don't know what they call it nowadays. It has something called the variable life market product. When the stock market, the blue chippers were at 2,300, I put people into that zone. And they grew. If you have a policy with me today, from that day, today, at my age, you're a multi-millionaire.
You think people still have it?
They stopped, I don't know, they stopped selling it because the market started going crazy up and it was going to bust the insurance companies. So they stopped doing it. They went to Universal Life, which is a different brand of insurance. But it's all on the philosophy of what you want a policy to do for you, how you want it to do it. And I got to tell you straight up, I had my parents insured through John Hancock. And when mom and dad died, Tony Villani, who was my rep, who then handles my insurance in New York City, even to today, made one phone call. And my mother died during a hurricane. The money was assured by John Hancock, a phone call to where they buried her. They told him, listen, this is the vice president, John Hancock. You will have your money as soon as the bank system is back up. And the guy told me, don't worry about it. You don't know the power of insurance, not where you have it paying, but when you need it. And when you need it and they pay, man, it will change your life. Because it changed mine. It let me do what I had to do for my dad when my mother died. And then when dad died, it let me keep his legacy alive. So insurance is a tricky business.
But I think now there's different types of policies that you get. You can put it into a policy, but then you can use it in different ways, right? You can go into a whole life, or you can go into an annuity, and it's not necessarily a long-term care plan.
Well, whole life policies are much more of a rigid policy where you have a fixed amount of money that you have to put into it every single month. The universal life policies give you the opportunity to overfund the life policy, that you're able to put more than what the minimum is. Now, but people say, well, why would I put more than I need to into a policy? And it's because you're going to have a certain amount of cost associated with the life insurance. And that's always going to change based on how old you are in the actuarial tables. You put more money into it, you have the ability to grow the funds within the life insurance wrapper and essentially loan yourself the money at proper rates with the right companies to enjoy tax-free income basically for the rest of your life. And whole life policies were the old way of it was done, but the insurance companies have it set at a certain rate, and if you decide you don't want to make a payment for 1 month, 1 quarter, 1 year, they actually loan the money from your own money to pay that. Whereas universal life policies are not built that way, where you can put in more than what you need to, all the way up until you take too much in there, and then the government says, wait a minute, you're actually not using this for life insurance, you're using this for an investment. And when you're using it for an investment, they make it what's called a modified endowment contract, which means you won't get the tax benefits while you're alive. It's complicated stuff, but as long as you're working with a agent or an advisor that's in your best interests and not necessarily in the ones for the company that they're representing, that they're trying to make sure that this is a piece that's going to, you're best utilizing it, then you're going to do it the right way. If you're working with somebody that's just trying to sell you as much life insurance as possible, you might be overinsured and then you're underinvested. So that's the way that I approach it is how much cost do you want to carry on and how much do you need as far as a protection and how much do you want as far as income, or do you just not need it for income, you just want to have the death benefit in place. And I did look up something, you say most people say by term, 99% of all term policies never pay a death benefit. Now, of course, that 1%, it was essential. And like you said, that will change people's lives. You don't have to run a GoFundMe page because your spouse passed away unexpectedly, things like that. So these things are extremely essential. And most people don't buy life insurance because they either are confused or worried, don't understand it, or they just weren't asked what was the right way of doing this. And that's why people, when you give people too many options without any guidance, they tend to just lock up and say, I don't know, it's not for me, I don't understand.
Because term is inexpensive, right? So I know when we first had kids, term life insurance was, heaven forbid something happened, there was that bucket of money to help provide for the kids for life.
Well,
And
they
then
used to say buy term and invest the difference. And the problem is that you have to know how to invest it.
or you have to have extra money to invest. People, and especially right now in this economy, people don't have extra money. Even the haves who used to have extra money. If you're not, like in medicine, you get X amount to see a patient. The same money you got to see the patient, you got to see the patient 5 years ago. But your rent's gone up, your mortgage has gone up, your electric's gone up, food's gone up. So even if you think you're a haves and you're a physician or you're an attorney, or your cost of living is, your price of doing business is the same, your cost of living is going up. So I don't know if people have that extra investment money.
Well, that's just one of the reasons that you're doing a forced savings. You're putting money
And
away.
this is a forced savings.
To do that. It's funny because he knows Universal, but Universal came about because the variable product was so unbelievable. The numbers on the variable was just so unreal that the government said, wait a minute, this isn't insurance, this is an investment vehicle, it's what it was. So they did away with that, and they came out with Universal to give you more flexibility, and now they can control some of the other stuff that goes in there. Any way you put it, getting smart money, starting with your kids when they're young, teaching them the right way of doing it. It doesn't mean that Josh has to buy life insurance today, even though if he does, he'll be better off at our age if he does it, and just start with small money. It's just the mindset of investing and learning how numbers work.
I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
One is, does it make sense, or can you convert term to whole life or universal life, whatever it's called today? And the other question is, does it make a lot of sense to insure your kids at a very low cost so that they'll have something when they're 20 or 30 or 40?
Mm-hmm. So, depending on the insurance contract that you're purchasing with a term life policy, there are usually conversion privileges. I say that with a big caveat, though, because oftentimes if you're not working with the best insurance companies, they'll put in there that they will offer you a convertible policy, but they wouldn't offer it on the street to somebody that would be insurable and able to do it. And why do they do that? They know that if you're converting the policy, you probably are not insurable at this point because you're thinking, oh crap, I bought a 20-year term policy, it's year 19, and now I have crippling osteoporosis. I might not be able to get a new policy, so I better convert this one. And then the insurance company says, well, aha, this conversion rate is not something we would even offer to somebody that was healthy. So if you're working with the right companies, you'll be able to convert into a policy that's available anywhere that's being sold currently. And that's for me to determine with the client, is figuring out which is the policy is right for that person. And what was the second part of your question?
Second question was about, doesn't it make sense to start insuring your children now as a savings
Oh.
policy as well?
I usually recommend, if you're going to, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish for the son or daughter, basically, because if you're thinking college planning, you're much better off insuring yourself over funding that policy and utilizing that for tax-free benefits, not putting it on your child and thinking that that's going to be used for college. That might be something that could be utilized much later in life. And the one good thing about juvenile life insurance is it's usually not underwritten, versus once you become no longer a minor, then you will be medically underwritten, and if they have health issues already, then that might be a good time to be able to get them into that type of a policy. But there's all sorts of other ways too to look at investments in addition to that. If you're able to, if your son or daughter's working and even just making a few $1,000s a year, you can contribute to a Roth IRA on their behalf, and they get basically the benefit of tax-free retirement income, later on in life. So there's a lot of different ways of being able to approach it. Juvenile life insurance is just one of the ways. And if we've exhausted other things, then that's just something that I definitely look at and review for clients.
It's interesting because I didn't realize you can help fund their IRA, but you do wealth management as a whole, not just insurance, not just Medicare.
Right.
You really help fill in the pieces together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people can go anywhere and get advice on a policy that they may want, but they oftentimes will be sold something in that particular aspect. Whereas if I'm trying to solve a problem for a client, then that's going to be where I'm going to approach it, as far as just saying, oh, well, if I sell this person more life insurance, I get a bigger paycheck. And that's the way it is in the insurance industry, unfortunately. But if you're approaching it as a solving of a problem, what are you trying to solve? What are we trying to accomplish? Are we trying to maximize tax-free income, or are we trying to maximize a death benefit? You can't do both at the same time. So we have to figure out what's right for each person. And if you have certain amount of money that you can spend on additional payments into the life insurance, maybe a term and a universal life policy makes sense, so that you get the amount of insurance that you need. Some of it drops off, but then you have something to carry on for the rest of your life. Because like I said, 99% of term policies don't pay. So once it's done, and if it's a 20 years and you're in year 21, your rate is going to skyrocket. So, and it becomes annually renewable at a much, much higher rate every single year. So planning for this stuff and putting it in place the right way with somebody that is going to partner with you on it instead of try and sell you on it is really the way that I approach it.
Is you can do a blended plan. When my kids were born, my grandparents took out policies for them, and they said, heaven forbid, at some point, if they ever want the cash value, they didn't know it existed, but they always paid into it for them. And now that Chelsea's going to grad school, Aaron's got student loans,
She borrowed against it.
they were able to borrow against it and get cash. And it comes off the death benefit, but they at least have to pay the interest back and keep it going. But it's a great vehicle for, I'm thinking of Arthur, right? If you want to give to your grandchildren a way of invest some extra money, so they may not need right now, but it's a good form of investment. And at the time, I don't think it was a whole lot of money for them to do it when they were born. But it had to be a family member, from what I was told, that had a vested interest, right, in the child. Otherwise, it gets all kind of funky when you're buying life insurance on somebody else.
Right. Yeah, you have to have a vested interest in the person you're buying life insurance on. Otherwise, you have a reason why they may not you want them to walk on this earth any longer.
Right. So it was interesting. I remember, 30 years goes fast, but I remember those strange questions, thinking that's kind of odd, but as you learn in life what it is. But it was a great opportunity for them now to be able to help pay off some loans and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And if you have it set up the right way and you're able to borrow against it, you actually, in the positions of these newer policies, you're able to make money off of the money that you've already borrowed. So it could be over and above what the interest that you're paying. If you make 8% one year and you only have to pay 4% in interest, you've made 4% on money you've actually borrowed, and that's pretty neat. And that's called an arbitrage. Banks do it all day. So that's the way that you can utilize that in your own bank, say your life policy.
Do you have a minimum client net worth that you will work with?
Not per se. It's really dependent on what the person's looking for and what they need. If they're a much smaller client but they have very minimal needs and it's easy for me to take them on, or if they're trying to grow and they're starting somewhere but I see that they have a lot of potential because they have income they need to figure out what to do with. I'll plant seeds and I'll transplant trees. So that's the way I'll look at it. And just one also additional thing mentioning about using that particular policy or using insurance or investments. Banks are in a lot of trouble right now because people are pulling their money from the banks, and people are worried about leaving their money in the bank right now. There's FDIC coverage over $250,000, but the people that have higher net worths realize this, and they, if you have $25 million, are you going to put it in 500 banks across the entire country so that you have FDIC insurance? No, you're going to find that insurance companies do not fail at the same clip that banks do. We've heard of 3 or 4 banks failing in the last few months. We haven't heard of any insurance companies failing in the last few months because those particular companies are built entirely differently, where your money is much, much more secure than it would be at a bank.
Interesting. It's a lot of things to think about.
Well, banks unfortunately bought into bad instruments that were low interest, and then when everything went up, they didn't make any adjustments, and then they get into a lot of trouble. You know, you want to be able to have an idea of what you want to do, or have somebody who can show you the different ways of getting to different places. There are instruments that you can set up, which can be for grandchildren, it could be for school, it could be for whatever. But the difference here is that when you tell people to save, that's what you want to get over. You want to be able to save money
But
in
there's
whatever
a fear
program.
of saving. Like I'll talk to Aaron, and his company has a dollar for dollar 401k match.
It's a good deal.
It's a great deal. But he
Yeah.
says, I can't afford to put money in it. I said, you can't afford not to put money in
No,
it.
you can't afford not to.
Because-
That's free money.
but
And I
the-
always
That's
tell
right.
people that.
But that's
Get
because
free
the way
money all day
things are
long.
right now, it's hard to even get an apartment.
But I
It's
said,
hard
can
to
you
buy
put
gas. It's
$50
hard.
a paycheck away? I could do that. Can you put 100? I could probably do 100. I said,
Until
okay.
his wife says, no, you ain't doing
I
that.
said, okay, so if you're putting 100 and they're putting 100, think how it's going to compound.
That's
if
a
you
good
think
deal.
you
Good
can do that, you can't afford not to. And I remember the accountants having those conversations with me growing up, not growing up, but as a young adult, and me saying the same thing that Aaron said. I can't afford it. We got groceries. We've got kids. And then you look back and think, you probably could have afforded $100 a paycheck. You may have gone out with Starbucks, or some things we would have changed, but 100 becomes 2, becomes invested vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And you will sit and go over a plan with everybody.
Oh, for sure. And if somebody has a 401k match, I ensure that they at least get that 401k match, because there's nothing better than free money.
That's free money.
Even if, I mean, it's the company's money. It's not free money, but you know, it's basically an additional benefit you have for working for a company that you are not tapping. It's like saying, no thanks, I don't want your health insurance. You know, even though you're paying for it for me. You know, so that's kind of the situation. And I always say free money first, and then tax favorable money, and then we go from there as far as trying to divvy it up and how your saving strategy is working. And it's not always a good idea either to just say, oh, I'll just sock money aside into a savings account, because there's really no plan for that. And there's no real interest earned there. If you can plan for it, and you can look at, you know, what if you made 8% versus 2% for the last 20 years? You're going to have exponentially more money, and you know, set money aside in a rainy day fund or something. Life insurance can be utilized for that, because you can pull money from it whenever you need to. So why set aside money earning nothing when you can earn 4, 6, 8, 10, 12% sometimes, depending
Funny
on the
things you
circumstances.
swore I would never say to my kids, and I now find myself saying to my kids, it's probably Amazon. You're going to laugh what's in it.
I don't want to know.
It's envelopes. Burton, you also have an event before we go to commercial break I want to talk about through Osteo Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're so vested in your clients in far as their health and their wellness. You have another company that helps with bone density and helps them better in wellness, and maybe help them feel better, help their insurance premiums maybe not go so high, and in the long run really just help care for the client.
Yeah, helping them may even become insurable if they were not insurable before. Improving your health, getting you into a position where you have a longer lifespan. So yeah, we do have an event coming up. It's actual Osteoporosis Awareness Month this May. So we do educational Medicare events at the Palm Beach County Libraries, partnered with my Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of the Northern Palm Beaches. But we've decided we're going to do one of these events at my center in Boca, so that we are able to educate people turning 65 and people that may not understand Medicare at our center, and also show them the facility, and they can tour it. They can see what it's all about, and it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone all at once. And so we're doing that May 18th at 6 p.m. and that's the center location is 7050 West Palmetto Park Road. That's the public shopping center. So that's where we're going to be May 18th at 6 p.m. So you can RSVP by calling the number that we had on the bottom of the screen. I'm sure we'll put it back up again later. But there's plenty to talk about, being that it is Osteoporosis Awareness Month as well.
And it's really important. And it's not a center where, it's not like going to a doctor's office. It's not a physical therapy office. It's really a wellness center. And the concept behind it is building your bone density because you can't possibly lift the amount of weights per pound that you need to increase your bone density. So it's a great machine, a great concept, some great energy modalities they have if you believe in all of the extra spiritual things that we all believe and talk about to help healing on another level.
Krista, when is it again?
When is it?
18th?
May 18th, 6 p.m. That's going to be our educational workshop about Medicare.
Awesome.
At
Thank
the
you so
center.
much. Well, thank you for joining us. A lot of great information. I'm hoping we can get Burton. Maybe he can do a show with us on a Monday night and share the information on health and wellness
Very nice.
and investments. More to come. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got Arthur Tassinello, host of the Wisdom Cafe that airs today. If you're wondering why it says Brooklyn Book Club, we got 3 books to talk about when we come back. And we've got our new friend, Irina, joining us. So stay tuned. It is Paranormal Day at the cafe.
Very paranormal.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015. you compromising your medical care for doctors out of your network? Are you tired of dealing with referrals to see a specialist? Are you aware that you can save up to $155 a month on your Medicare premiums? You need an all-in-one benefits company that can help with all of your Medicare plan needs. Call today, All-in-One Benefits Group at 954-614-5488. We're here to find an all-in-one plan for you. 954-614-5488. Call today for open enrollment.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Drive on her street, 'cause she's my only companion. I walk through her hills, 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me winding. Alone and worried, now that I didn't lie. Now I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Hard to believe that there's nobody out there. It's hard to believe that I'm all alone. At least I have her love, the city she loves me. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Now I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood. Under the bridge downtown, I could not get enough. Under the bridge downtown, forget about my love. Under the bridge downtown, I gave my life away. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very nice, gentlemen. Very nice.
Nice job, you guys. Thank you very much. That's our Brew Crew music crew. The Blues Brothers of Blue, I think they call themselves.
Bash Brothers?
Brothers of Blues.
They change the name every week. Can I tell you?
We've got Arthur Tassinella joining us and our new friend from Stars About Stars, Irina, in the house. Arthur, you ready for today's show?
Well done. I really don't have a choice.
That's right. You here, you might as well do
Might as well do it, right?
What are we talking about today?
Various subjects. One of them, though, I'm going to talk a little bit about mothers because it's Mother's Day.
True.
That's one thing. And
Today is
then-
Mother's Day?
No, Sunday is Mother's Day.
Next
Mother's
Sunday.
Day is coming up.
Yep.
Sunday.
Scared me. Don't do that.
Not today. I don't think Mother's Day is ever on a
Every day
weekday.
is
It's
Mother's
always,
Day.
It's always what, the
My
second
mother
Sunday of the month, I
says
think?
every day was Mother's Day.
That's pretty true.
Every day. And if you didn't believe it, she hit you over the head with a frying pan. But that was
You know,
different.
and I know, Freddie, you love this one. Your Key to Love and Happiness, the program for self-healing and personal growth.
Okay.
Today seems to be a day we keep talking about personal growth, introspection.
And it's funny because I wanted to ask Arthur, we did a morning show today. And one of the things that was brought up is that I have this tendency of telling the producers that they are the best. And I expect to hear the word yes. Otherwise, I'm going to send you out of here. Come back in and let's start again. There is nothing short of that. And then they explained to me the reason that they are hesitant to say yes is because they think that once they say that, they stop growing. They stop advancing. It sort of puts a cap to their movement of upward mobility. And I tried to explain to them that isn't true. That's just the beginning of upward mobility. One of the things I love about your book, it explains a lot about yourself to yourself. See, because you can't do something fantastic if you don't know who you are. If you are the greatest mystery to yourself, how in the world are you going to find love? How in the world are you going to find like? And how in the world are you going to find anything that means anything?
Yeah, that's a great point, Freddie, because we're always, most of the time, we're looking outside of ourselves. We're looking externally to be like somebody else instead of trying to be who we are, be the best version of ourselves. It's like, I want to be like Michael Jordan, or I want to be like Kobe Bryant, or I want to be like Muhammad Ali, or whatever that person is. Well, you need to find who you are, right? Who am I? And am I capable of that? And I'm capable of going after that. Can I achieve that? But you're not going to know that until you know yourself. And that's the importance of that book, because it's the workbook about how did I get where I am? Why do I think the way I think? Why do I do the things I do? That's been my quest for decades. And for me, I wanted to do that for many reasons, but a lot of the reasons was because I wanted to understand why some relationships were good and some relationships were really shitty, right? And I had to own the fact that I'm part of that relationship. And so what was my part in that? What did I do?
Probably the shitty part.
Yeah. Right. Why did I make it a shitty relationship? Or how did I contribute to that in some way? So it was always just to make myself better, to be a better person. I'm always working on myself all the time. It happens every day. Every time I wake up, something I'm doing during the day kind of throws me off, right? Puts me off kilter, as they say. And I have to reel myself back in and go, so why did you feel that way? Why did that affect you in that way? What are you going to do about it? Because it's always the choice to choose what you want to do, who you want to be, how you want to act all the time. How do you want to be within yourself? I'm not sure if I'm going to get this right, but who are you when no one is looking? It's easy to put on a show. I used to do that when I was young. It's like, put on airs, I'm way bigger than you think I am. I'm way bigger than I thought I was, right? So it's crazy the way we do things as we're younger compared to how we hopefully we grow and do things in a better fashion as we get older. We become, it's always about the virtues. There's all the virtues, right? Which compassion and empathy and caring and love and kindness and all of those virtues. How are we going to play those? What are we going to do with those things? Are we going to be authentic in doing that?
Well, let me ask you a question about that. So say you have a relationship, and I don't even mean romantic, a relationship with a friend, another couple when you were married, and your virtues just didn't align with theirs at some point. And you said, you know what, this friendship is not working for me. But time passes and now you are where you are in life. You reevaluate things and say, maybe it's time to make amends. Is it ever too late to make amends?
Not ever. No, not ever. You know my sister, Michelle. Michelle and I saw things a little bit differently. We're 5 years apart, so as I was getting out of high school, I was starting to go to college, she's just getting into high school. But we saw our parents differently.
Sure.
Right? My mom, to me, she was a saint, not to my sister. My dad, he was a problem, not to my sister. So we almost saw our parents, in a way, opposite. But my sister and I had a falling out, and for years. And it had to do with a lot with a situation that we were in, being in business together. So it didn't work out well, so we parted, and we didn't part on good terms. But at one point, I finally said, you know, this is ridiculous. And I reached out to her and I said, I can't do this anymore. I love you. You're my sister. So we had to fix it. I had to fix it. And we did. And still, you know, even, I don't care what relationship you have, you're always going to find an issue with that person on something, on some level. Something's going to happen. No relationship is perfect. But how do you want to handle it? Do you want to actually be able to sit down and say, you know, I love you and I care about you. How do we make this relationship a little bit better? And you can't love everybody. In a sense, I say that, and I step back a little bit because we want to love everybody in the sense that we want the best for everybody in the world, because whatever is good for them is great. It doesn't take anything away from you. It doesn't take anything away from me. If you have a wonderful success, that's just envy and jealousy. That's what that comes down to. And once we become envious and jealous of other people, that degrades who we are. We're not living a lovely, wonderful, giving, caring life.
But at some point, you've got an issue with, say, you got an issue with an employee, an issue with your sister, an issue with your kid, an issue with your significant other, and you're saying, it's you, it's you, it's you. At some point, my sister says there's a common denominator.
That's right.
That we have to take some responsibility for all of these issues. We didn't just all choose bad friends, right? This relationship, this give and take, is missing something. We have to take some responsibility. It's not always somebody else's fault.
Maybe
He's going to say it is.
Maybe
Watch.
the accountability is the way you look at it. Why is it that it's such a negative thing to have a difference of opinion with somebody you're with?
Like I told you, I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to be
which
nicer
is never
to you.
going to happen.
I'm being nicer to you.
No,
yes.
that doesn't happen. That's never going to happen. But that's okay, because whether you are or you aren't really doesn't matter. that you said you were going to be matters more to me than if you actually are.
But Arthur made me think, at some point we have to reflect on what we're doing and how we're feeling. And it doesn't mean that I'm really upset with you. Maybe I'm just having a bad day, or maybe I'm just not feeling great that day.
But that's okay.
Maybe it's
You're
within
entitled
me.
to feel that way. But I think that one of the aspects here is the accountability. What your sister means is that you are placing emphasis on all of these other things. And they are becoming bigger than the pie of the whole. I rather say, listen, you have a difference of opinion. We're back to the chair. What color is that chair? Is it blue? Is it brown? Is it gray? Who cares? You're all sitting in it. We all sit in it. We use it the way it's intended to be used. Some of us stand on it. What difference does it make? You can't always be right, and you can't always be wrong. So just take in, and it becomes a learning experience. I think, Arthur, you went through a phase in your life where you had all this experience, and you changed it all, and now you're a loving father, a loving husband, and you're doing the best things you can do for you, your family, and your friends. It's changed you.
Well, yes, dramatically. And you know my story.
Tremendously.
That's why I call it a second chance. But I also thought about that as well. We're all getting other chances all the time. We're presented with new opportunities all the time to change ourselves. So that second chance or that third chance or that fourth chance, I get presented with it all the time, which just means that how do you want to do things differently but better differently? Right. So my second chance, as you know, just a quick story, is that I had a son at a very young age, absentee father because his mom and I got divorced early on. And I was that guy that didn't always show up because I was selfish. And 20 years, well, actually about 18 years after that, I just said, you know, God, I apologize. And if I had to do this over again, I want you to know it would be different. And you have to watch what you say to God or anybody, watch your words, because God 2 years later presented me with someone, so I got married again after whatever it was, 13 or 14 years, and we had a daughter together. And so I was never, however that relationship was with her at that time, I was never going to leave that relationship because I was never going to be that absentee father again, ever. And all the things that I didn't do for my son, I did for my daughter. My son got a little jealous, and we've mended our relationship. But we have chances. We have opportunity. I call them opportunities. We have opportunities to do things better, to be better people all the time. And that happens from the moment you wake up, every minute of every day, till you go to sleep, every day of your life. Every day. So I'm so passionate about this, and it's so ingrained in me that I look at myself every day, every action that I have, every single action. Was that a positive action or was it not? And why wasn't it? And what can I do better? I want to do better because I want to be the peacemaker in the world. I actually want to see peace in this world. And as we talked about on another show, if you two made friends with us, and then the four of us go out the next day and so forth. I'm not going to go through quite the whole story, but if we did that every day for 33 days, all of us doubling 8, 16, 32, and so forth, at the end of 33 days, as long as we're all doing it, we've reached every person on this planet. Every person. So it's possible to do. Maybe not probable, but it's possible. There's nothing wrong with loving. In fact, it's the best thing that you can do. Hate takes more energy. Frowns take more energy.
It's interesting you brought that up because what I like to do is I like to open up the book to see what the message is. I used to do this with the Bible. And today, it's week 15, it's fearless. What you have here, to be fearless, is to live life with freedom in the face of the unknowns without being careless, reckless, or foolish. Mm-hmm. And then you have a chart here, which I wanted to go over real fast. So it's either no fear, some fear, or overwhelmingly fear. Mm. And those are the three. There's four, but I will use those for the time being. So how do you feel about rejection? No fear, some fear, or overwhelmingly fear?
Me?
Yeah. We start with you, Lucy.
Rejection?
Rejection. The word is rejection. Fear, no fear, some fear, or a lot of fear.
No fear.
No fear.
No.
So you don't fear being rejected. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Now you have to be honest.
We have to describe fear. I don't think it's really fear.
Rejection, fear.
I don't think it's fear. I might get annoyed, but I don't think I'm fearful of it.
So you have no fear of someone or something, or you have no fear of being rejected.
If
Somebody
someone doesn't like
rejects
me,
you.
That's not fearful.
No? Okay. I'll give you some no fear.
No. Now I get annoyed.
Fear, no fear?
I had some fear before, but I work it out, and now I have more belief in God. So I think that if I'm rejected, it means something better is waiting for me by the corner.
So no fear.
At the moment, no fear anymore.
Fear, no fear, some fear.
Well, you're asking the guy that wrote this.
That's okay.
So-
that doesn't exempt you from
No, it
having
doesn't
feelings.
exempt me at all. I don't fear anything anymore. I really have no fear about it. I mean, maybe bungee jumping, I fear that. You know, some physical things, but.
But the key word here is rejection.
Yeah.
Not bungee jumping.
Yeah, no, I don't fear that.
At all?
You can, not at all, because your rejection of me doesn't define me. That does, because you reject me for some, whatever reason that is, it doesn't define who I am. I know who I am already.
So no fear and rejection.
No.
Fear and rejection?
Bert?
Bert?
I think we all have some degree of fear of rejection.
Okay, there's some degree in here as well.
Always.
Only honest guy in the room.
How about you?
Some rejection.
Okay.
Yes. Some fear.
One more, and then we got to go to break? Or you wanna go to break?
Failure. You know, I love this book.
I
man.
know.
Thank you.
Failure. Go ahead, tell me, Lucy. You
Yeah,
got no
I do
fear
have a
there
fear. I
either.
do have a fear of failure.
Now, it's the exercise of the book. You have to be transparent, translucent to yourself. You have to
Yes.
be honest. So, any failure, fear, no fear?
Yeah,
Yeah, what?
fear of failure. But
So you have some
I don't
fear?
think failure is failure. I don't think we ever really fail. I think we learn from things. I can't ever say anything I've done was
Don't
a failure.
explain your answer, Lucy.
What happened?
Yes, fear, no fear, or some fear.
Some fear, yes.
Some fear. Don't explain it
Yes.
because what you're doing is you're massaging the answer to accommodate your thinking.
Because that's my thought process. It's
No
like
fear.
phone a friend.
No fear.
No, I ha-
Failure is not something I'm afraid of.
You're
Because I
not.
failed so much in my life, believe you me, I don't fear it anymore. And if I'm not failing, I'm not doing something right. Fear, failure.
Some fear. For
Some
this
fear.
issue, some fear.
Another honest soul, you know, we'll leave you last. Bert, what about you? Failure. Fear, no fear?
If you're not failing, then you're not succeeding in the future.
So no
or
fear?
to your true potential. So, fear of failure is not a reason to continue, not to continue.
Right.
If you're afraid of failing and you don't attempt it, then you've already failed. But you've done more than failed. You haven't given yourself the potential.
Okay, so failure in a way has a couple of definitions, and I'll define one part of failure as an experience I don't want to have again. And it's real, so I don't really call that failure. To Burton's point, if you fail, you didn't achieve what you wanted, to stop, that's not the way to go either, because you want to continue. Hopefully you learn something from that experience that you don't want to do. You carry that forward so you don't do that again. So your next experience is hopefully better, that you do better at your job or you do better at your relationship. So the thing is, we need to understand how to assess a situation so we learn something from it. Don't just like, that really sucked, and just brush it away and not get the message from that, whatever that message is for you. So there's a lot of detail and a lot of depth to these questions. And the other part about it, you're putting people on the spot here, which is okay.
I'm not.
But wait a minute, just let me finish.
But let me tell you why I'm not.
But let me just say this,
Go ahead.
all right? That is intended to do in privacy. So because when we are confronted with some questions that are uncomfortable, that we're not sure how we want to answer them, because we all do this with somebody else, in front of somebody else, in front of a therapist, whoever that person is, we're going to think about that question differently, and we're going to come up with maybe a different answer than the real deep, honest answer that we will have for ourselves, doing it for ourselves in private with ourselves. It happened. This is psychology.
No,
This
no,
is our mind.
I get that, but the what you're missing here is that every day we walk around and we ask ourselves this question.
Yeah, that's true.
Every single day, every moment of the day, because fear is our number one enemy with time.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do in life, it's okay. If you tell me no fear, if you tell me full fear, it makes no difference, because the answer to me is irrelevant. The answer to you is the relevance. So whether or not the Dawn answers me or she wants to massage you, that's okay. Because I already know that when the bell rings, Dawn goes. I know it. She overcomes whatever fear, if there's any at all. That I ask her in public, it's the question that she says, she's going to tell me, why'd you do that? I says, because I can. And you don't have to answer. You just say yes, you say no, and you move on. Sometimes you have to make people think.
Well, your question was specific, though, is fear of rejection, not just fear in general. So
But
that's
I never
a different
define
situation.
rejection. Rejection could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be eating the wrong food. It rejected you. It could be it's raining. Some people don't like walking in the rain because their hair gets
Good
curly.
point. Maybe I need to rewrite this with you.
I don't think so. I think that what you did with this book is you make people think.
That's
and you
the
have
whole
to
point.
think whether you're asleep or you're awake, whether you're walking or if you're working. You have to be able to focus on what it is that you want to accomplish, and then you have this game under better control.
Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, I want Arthur to meet Irene because she does something similar to his sister,
I
which
see
of
that.
course. It's interesting that you're both here on today. I know. More to come, 888-994-4995. And I say similar because no one in the spiritual world is anything exactly the same.
No.
And we'll be right back.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Would you like to hear better for as little as 10 cents a day? Now you can with the all-new Audion hearing aids. The average hearing aid lasts about 3 years. Ours, at only $99 a pair, means you're paying as little as 10 cents a day to hear better. And to make things even better, we'll give you a 45-day money-back guarantee. Skip the doctor and get hearing aids delivered straight to your door. We've eliminated all the middlemen to offer you a factory direct price of only $99 a pair. Join over 300,000 people just like you who took advantage of our 45-day trial offer. Now you can hear better too for just 10 cents a day. Call now and order your $99 pair of Audion hearing aids with a 45-day money-back guarantee. Plus, get free 3 to 5 day shipping.
800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. That's 800-259-1328.
Todo Bello Balloons is a business that was born out of a passion for creating unique and beautiful balloon designs, including balloon bouquets, balloon arches, balloon columns, and more. We specialize in creating unique and beautiful balloon designs that bring your dreams into reality. We believe that balloons have the power to bring people together and create lasting memories, and we are honored to be part of that experience. Contact us and we will bring happiness to your celebrations with our balloons.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Brand new shows, only on AMP2 TV. We have All-in-One Insurance, Latin Hustle con Karen, Meta Magazine Show, Pitch 2 Production, The Florida Love Show, The Sixth Borough, Meet the Experts, Reinvented Life, Lights in the Night, and The Hangout. Tune in so you don't miss these amazing new shows. Only on AMP2 TV.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I'm Elisa Keating, and today I'm at Meisner Park to cover exactly what this amazing center has to offer. From all of its shops to its gazebos and even a performing arts amphitheater, this center has so much to offer, and so stay tuned to see exactly what it entails. Behind me is a fountain that is in the center of Meisner that is often a very good picture opportunity for a lot of people. Especially during prom season, a lot of high schoolers tend to love this spot, but also if you're just out on a weekend night, it's a great place just to relax, catch up with someone, or after you've had a few drinks, just to, you know, kind of sober up a little bit. So now you're about to see the inside of Salt Life, a pretty big company down here in Florida for its fishing apparel, which is why it's most popular. Salt Life carries a variety of different things, including t-shirts, shorts, and even anything you could possibly need when you're out fishing. If you're ever in this area, this would be the perfect store for you, especially if you're planning your next fishing trip. We are now standing outside of Kapow, a noodle bar here in Meisner that carries much more than you can imagine. It feels much more like an oasis than your typical restaurant, should you say, and it makes you feel like you're standing in a jungle. With a fully stocked bar and many noodle dish options, this is the perfect location for any date night or if you're just looking to celebrate something special in your life. We hope you enjoyed this sneak peek into Meisner and hope to see you there. I'm Elisa Keating reporting.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Nikki and Curly did,
wow.
That's some number.
Nice job, ladies. Well done.
Our first voyage out to doing this whole piece.
And that's where they met Irina, actually, so perfect timing to put that piece out.
I know. Was this all done coincidentally?
No, yes, as a matter of fact, it was all
Right,
coincidentally.
because I heard in the meeting we were going to play it today.
Yep.
Wow. You know, nice stuff. Very
Nice
nice.
job,
I like
ladies.
it. I like it a lot.
So Irina Kay is back joining us, and you actually met the girls when they were out doing that piece last week.
Absolutely, I did it. I was lucky, you know.
What did you think when you saw them?
I don't know, they're like two little angels walking around. I had a very good feeling. They have very positive, nice, pleasant energy, and just had a feeling that I need to ask them about their video shooting, what they're doing here. They explained me the message, and oh my God, I'm surprised. And especially when you live there, you know the area a little bit, and they're doing great. They're very lovely girls, both of them, and Nicole and Alicia.
They were so excited to meet you, and I know you do something similar to Arthur's sister, Michelle Landers. It's been a good time friend and numerologist to the studio. It's got to be over 5 years. And you work with astrology and science and numbers. You work through relationships and love, finding love through that.
I do. Yeah, I'm very lucky with my job, and you know, like I dedicate to this one good decade of last 10 years of my life, and I never regret it, because I do believe, probably like Arthur and maybe everybody in this room, that relationships is base of everything in life, including health as well, by the way.
It's all about everything. Now, you said we've got an eclipse coming on Friday. You got some turbulent things happening.
Oh yeah, we all do. I had my tears today already. I got sensitive, you know, like it's nothing wrong with that, to be moody, to be everything, to experience different things during life and during the day, to react in your own way. And that's how we are moving in life, experiencing
now, should we
ourselves.
be doing negotiations on a Friday or not?
Oh no, you can always talk, but that's going to be very emotional probably, you know. So
Emotional?
yeah, that's going to be very emotional conversation.
Be emotional.
Depends.
My
If-
ex-wife's birthday's Friday. Very
Oh!
emotional.
I thought it was today.
Friday the 5th.
Same as Chelsea?
Yes.
Oh.
All them people.
Tauruses.
All them Tauruses, yes. the 5th.
Emotional. And what else is happening in the stars?
You know, now it's retro Mercury, so probably partners, if we are talking about love and business, partners from previous life, they can come back and maybe, you know, disturb you a little bit, or depends what kind of relationships you have. But I think it's something always to work out in yourself, what Arthur actually wrote in his book. And you know, Dawn, when you spoke like a few minutes ago that we are building up relationships with everyone, our employees, our team, our friends, families, relatives, lovers, definitely, and they are our teachers. If you don't mind to give you like one little more like trick or exercise that is not astrology but psychology. I understood one thing, that actually on the level of vibes we react usually on the same type of thing. That is a like hidden puzzle in every person. Let's say when your husband is raising voice on you, it irritates you. Probably when you come onto your job and your boss is shouting in you, it can irritate you as well. Or when your sister is screaming because she got frightened, it irritates you as well. So there are two things when we are observers of our behavior and our reactions, first of all. When we are too much in love with some kind of quality, or we are too much against what irritates us. Why? Because actually both of these things, they are part of us. So coming back to parentship, that is like actually 14th of May that is coming. Let's say when we want to say something bad about our wives, husbands, or put responsibility on them or our parents, and discuss what kind of parents they are. Let's say, I think he's aggressive, or I think he's, I don't know, egoistic parent. No matter what, father and mother. Personally, I think that it's a part of us. Whatever we try, whatever we see, admit in other people, it's a part of us. Because when we stay indifferent, it means that it's not part of us. We don't really react, not consciously, not unconsciously. If not, then we are start to be aggressive. I don't like that this girl is like, she's too provocative. Maybe because unconsciously you want to be on the place of that girl. So that's the thing. And when we are killing relationships with our parents, me as a daughter without father nowadays, because I lost my father 1 year ago, I would tell you that it's a very bad thing to ruin your relationship with your parents. Why? Because you're killing yourself. You're killing or feminine or masculine part. And feminine part, you need to be creative and lovely and tender and sweet. And masculine part, you need to be strong, to be resistible, to be business focused and aggressive in a good quality way.
You say that all the time. You say that all the time about parents. You have an affinity for moms.
Most boys do.
You think?
Yeah, most boys, they mom, you can't do anything wrong around mom.
That's what you always say.
But it's true. If you look at it, if you think about it, boys have a tendency of doing that. And I like what she was talking about, because to me, you gotta have balance. You can't be too much, you can't be too little. Balance. And it's really hard to have balance in everything you do. Sometimes you say too much, sometimes you don't say enough. Sometimes you miss an opportunity to ask a girl out on a date. Sometimes you don't. It all depends. But balance is the trick of life. It's
I was
what
thinking
teaches
more of
you.
how people irritate me. That part of the
We're
conversation.
back to that again.
Yes, when people yell, they irritate me. When people talk down to me, like I don't understand them, but I do, that irritates me.
Nobody irritates you. You irritate yourself.
Well, that's what she was saying. So I've got irritation within me because all of these things, when people talk to me that way, irritates me.
Or they teach you.
To be what, irritated?
To be patient. It's funny, Dawn always says to me, do you have patience? Teddy also says patience. Patience is a real big part of learning what to do, because it sort of tests you as to how much tolerance you have towards something you don't like, right? Because we own a lot of things we don't like. Now, can you be patient with something you do like? Absolutely. You meet that fantastic person and you love them. You have a little patience. Little patience.
But I like what you say about relationships, because relationships can be with anybody. It's not just a romantic relationship. You and I have a business relationship, friends. We love everyone here in the different sense of love, I know. But they're all relationships.
Everything across the board, from doing products to doing studios to everything else, to meeting people and wanting the best for them. The hardest relationship is when you tell somebody, I really believe in you, and I want you to do more, and I want you to do more, and I want you to do more. And here they're saying to me, well, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Why does he want me to do more? Because they're here. So why did they show up here? Because they want to do more. And you want to give them the opportunity to do more. Just learn to stay away from the Dawn Zone and you're in good shape.
But I love that Irene is here. Do you have any messages for anyone for today?
Thank you so much. No, I think I was clear enough. I just really wanted to appreciate, as a book writer as well, Arthur, thank you for a great job. It's all about awareness. Thank you so much.
And you're a model also, I see.
Excuse me?
You're a model as well?
Oh yeah, I do it. You know, I came back to this because your country gives an opportunity to be whatever you want to be, you know, to make your dream come true. I was a model when I was a little girl, so I came back to that here in the United States.
And how's that going?
I love it, absolutely. I just did modeling in New York. You know, they invited one great spa, and I hope I keep going like that.
I saw your pictures on Instagram. They're beautiful.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much. That's a great compliment for a beautiful woman.
Oh, thank you. But really, she does a lot. We don't know half of what she does over there.
We don't know yet. Psycho Arthur, we don't know what he does
We're
either.
going to find out. Bert, thank you so much for joining us May 18th, 6 o'clock at Osteo Strong on Palmetto and Powerline in, they call it West Boca, Central Boca. Check it out. Also, free consultations available for better health. And I'm sure you can give Bert a call for financial advice. A consultation?
Yes, of course.
Best phone number to reach you at?
561-623-1040.
All right, contact Bert. And Arthur's going to be joining, we're going to be joining Arthur today at 3 o'clock on the Wisdom Cafe. See what we're talking about,
I'm not
something
happy.
about mothers.
Take off my shoes.
Why
They're
did
already
they lose?
losing 3-0.
I told you they're going to lose if you put them on. They only win if they go in the bag in there. You totally jinxed your
What
whole
are you
team.
talking about?
They win when
No.
you don't wear them.
Ay, Papa Dios. They haven't been winning. I haven't been worrying. I put them on losing 3-0 already.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very
Irene-
much. Balance.
Balance.
Did you hear balance? Have some balance. When are you going to start being nice to me again?
I am being nice to you. I want your team to win, so you should take off your shoes. It's a perspective.
Take off my shoes. All
It mats. It's impossible to take it out, correct?
What's the matter?
When you're a fan of something big.
You gotta live it. And Irina, hopefully more to come. I guess we're going into an eclipse on Friday, so very emotional. You ready for
It's getting
Friday?
eclipsey now.
Buckle up.
Right now, it's getting very dark in here.
Baxton, you're going to take us out. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. More to come with Baxton. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late. All right, Baxton, do it, baby.
Sitting, waiting tables while she's sitting, waiting for him to show. What her name or story was, maybe I'll never know. Well, she ain't trying to hide what's going on inside, and I know I've been there before. Waiting for somebody at the only place to see him anymore. Well, she's hiding out there in her car, smoking and crying. Now she don't gotta go too far to figure out that she's dying. Thinks a cigarette will make it better, but she's just lying to herself about getting him back. Man, she's trying. Nothing's gonna change, but at times, man, it's flying. She's smoking and crying. She's smoking and crying. She sees him pull up in his old truck with a brand new girl. I saw her face as she walked into the space, and it wrecked her world. I wish I could go outside and give her my best advice and tell her it would be okay. But I just drank my coffee and then I went on my way. Well, she's hiding out there in her car, smoking and crying. She don't gotta go too far to figure out that she's dying. She thinks a cigarette will make it better, but she's just lying to herself about getting him back. Man, she's trying. Nothing's gonna change but the times, man, it's flying. She's smoking and crying. She's smoking and crying. She's smoking and crying.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.